right. We are on. Going to make sure we're streaming on Facebook and YouTube here. Let's see. There we are. All right.
7:00.
Okay. All
Straight
right.
up. Yeah.
Let's get our countdown going here. Hello and welcome back. It's been a while. It's good to
Yes,
see
we
you.
took a sabbatical, I guess.
Yes, we did. It was holidays and we did 3 shows in 7 weeks at the beginning of the year. So it's been a busy time, but hopefully we're going to stay back in our normal routine now. So that's the goal anyway. So how the heck have you been?
I've been very well. How about yourself?
I've been good too, busy, but in a good way. So
Yeah.
geez, where do we even start to talk about what's new? So your holidays were good, hopefully uneventful.
Yeah, holidays were good, very uneventful. Yeah, it's just and lately I felt a really lot of good energy. I don't know that I haven't done anything that has, Marianne, that I know of that has caused this energy. But yeah, I did this past Saturday. I say the keynote speaker. I was the audience speaker for a great organization called From Grief to Hope. I'm on the board there, nonprofit. It was their annual celebration of life. We probably had, I don't know, 27 on there.
Great.
I think almost 30. And I got to talk for a few minutes, see if there's any questions, and to do messages. And it was tremendous. It really was.
Good. What kind of people are attracted to that?
There's a lot of people, parents who've lost children. And some of these people came from another organization that I worked with for one time. I only got to do it one time, called Helping Parents Heal. I think the organization is still around. I did a group reading. Oh gosh, it was probably 5-6 years ago. It was probably 25, 30 in the group at the downtown Orlando Public Library, which is a humongous library. Thing is unbelievable. And it was 3 hours I was exhausted at the end, but it was, it was good. And for a parent to lose a child is difficult. And for a parent to lose a child, having that child take their own life is even more difficult. And so we deal with that as best as we can. And they know that there's a continuity of life. Almost not every religion, but Marilyn, there's like 3,000 religions in the world, or over 3,000. And I'd say vast majority of them teach about a continuity of life. Now, they may teach it differently, but but it was a good morning, afternoon, and just very proud to be part of that organization. Anybody can join. You just From Grief to Hope, and you just
When I would do my presentations on reincarnation, there was also a very heavy population of people that had lost children. And that's what they were looking to do, was just to make that connection and understand. And that ties in with the premise of tonight's show that you chose, was what happens to the soul when we die.
Right.
But that's why, just for the people, and there's a ton of people on here, by the way, that just are saying how glad they are that we're back. And
we're glad to be back. We're glad to be
so glad that they were able to catch us live. So, it just, that's why we do what we do, is just to let people know, not even to just give you hope, but to prove, with your connections and the mediumship and the things that you have seen and heard, that there is no doubt in people's mind that we do continue to live on. That death is just like going from one room to another. And that's
it really is. It really is. Yeah.
So before,
physically, go ahead. No, I'm
No.
gonna say physically we can't touch them, and I get that. I've got cousins, but I think if I've said on this show, everybody in my family is gone. Uh-oh, look
Yeah.
out!
You knew that was coming.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
The
um,
corgis are outside the door because they're
yeah,
barking, but the cats, they're quiet, so they get to stay in
but I
here and
mean,
not to show that.
everybody in my family is gone. I'm it. Brother,
Mm-hmm.
parents, uncles, aunts, grandparents. I only had my brother Stan as a sibling. They're all gone,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't all come through. I don't expect them to all come through, but when you do a reading and something comes through that you couldn't have possibly known,
Right.
and then they go, "You couldn't have known that. You absolutely could not have known that." And I
Mm-hmm.
go, "No, I don't know that. I don't look up people's information. More information you have prior to the reading, the more it impacts and influences the reading. We don't want to do that."
Right.
So, yeah, there is a science to this, and excuse me, and I'm fascinated by that. I'm fascinated by the science that is
Mm-hmm.
in metaphysics. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway,
The reincarnation, some of the science behind that too, you can't absolutely prove it, but there's so much. So the who I learned from, Dr. Walter Semkiw, he is a medical doctor, and that he was watching the work from the Many Lives, Many Masters,
oh
and Raymond Moody.
yeah, Brian Weiss.
Yeah, those two. And
Yeah,
there's just when the information comes through, he found that there was 10 points of ways that people could be similar in one life to another, and the
yeah,
stories are fascinating. I'll get his website here in a minute and put it down on the screen. But if we can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that there's life after death, we really feel that it will, really make people understand how we are all one. That we might be one religion in one lifetime, and a similar religion, or a
absolutely.
completely opposing religion. Some religions,
And
you know.
you hear these people who have been to the other side and come back, and they don't know each other, but the stories are so similar of what they see, what they experience, the tunnel of light, the review of your life,
Mhm,
and it's amazing, and they don't know each other, so you can't
mhm,
connect the dots on that. People don't even know each other, yet they've gone to the other side, they've come back for whatever reason,
mhm,
and so the chances of that happening are, I don't think you can even calculate the chances of that happening.
mhm,
So there's a science to it. It's hard to prove or disprove.
mhm.
It's just there, right? So I guess a certain amount of faith uh, has to come into account on that. So
When I was little, my grandmother told me a story that I know impacted me for the rest of my life. And it was funny. My dad and his sister, my aunt, said that their mother had never told them the story. I don't know why she felt comfortable telling it to me. I remember where I was in her house when she told me the story. That she had a child, I think he was 4, was my dad's younger brother, that passed away from in the hospital from complications due to asthma. And before he died, he told his mother there was an angel in his room and said, "Do you see it?" And she, I don't know exactly what was said, but he died shortly after.
yeah,
And grandma felt very certain that that an angel had come to take him to help him cross over. So, that to me, my grandmother was a very strict and devout Catholic and didn't believe anything outside the guise of the Catholic Church, of
sure,
what we know there. But that, even at that young age, where I hadn't really thought about what was outside my religion, really, told me, taught me hope, I think, and
right, yeah,
the reality that of course, and the more now that we know that we're that close, that it seems like sometimes with organized religion, and you grew up Catholic as well, it seems like
yeah,
there's a big gap between us and God. That's where we've got to get the priest and everything
yeah,
in there, but actually they're pretty close.
yeah. I actually grew up Protestant, but then I converted to Catholicism.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but that's okay. When my kids were really little, So I've been a Catholic for a long time. And, there are borders and there are boundaries. And borders you can kind of cross over a little bit. Boundaries, you got to stay within.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think religion misses the mark in so many ways. Here's the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
We want your mind, want your mind to look like our boundaries. We want we want your heart, your soul. It's just especially the mind. And I think that's why so many people talk about the New Age religion. It's not just a religion, it's a new age of thinking, of spirituality, of shifting, of consciousness, things that you don't hear in normal, everyday, mainstream religions, Protestant, Catholicism, Judaism, Islam, Hindu. You might in Hindu, I don't know. But anyway, that's...
So maybe we could even start from the literally, what do you think happens to our souls when we die?
Yeah. And the reason this is important to me, because spirit, again, God, universe, spirit, taught me or told me to write a book about the soul. And I went, oh boy, you don't know what you're asking. And of course they know what they're asking. Their spirit knows what it's asking. And so even if you're Christian, okay, which I am, and we say we're made in the image and likeness of God. Well, if we come to the conclusion that God is neither a man or a woman, it's energy, it's light, it's love, then we're made in that image, and which is inside. And if your soul is the essence of who you are, that soul, the physical body stays here, of course, but that soul transitions to another lifetime or to the spirit realm, and may come back in another lifetime for lessons that it didn't learn the first time. There is, as we talked earlier, there was a movie made, it was a comedy long time ago, Albert Brooks and Meryl Streep, called Defending Your Life, and in which Meryl Streep had this great, gorgeous, beautiful life, and Albert Brooks, not so much. But it did prove a point that, you do see a replay of your life. And there are dimensions. It's like an energy field. Spirit about a month ago showed me, and I say showed me, I just got a brief vision. You showed me, we all get visions, right? We all have visions that flash. Showed me an energy field. It was like and the higher the dimension, the more the energy. The energy was higher, the vibrations was higher, everything was higher. And so the more you ascend, just like, and I don't know how many dimensions there are. People say 12, somebody said 144. I don't know. I just did a reading where two people in the past 2 weeks said they've gone on to the sixth dimension. They're already in the sixth dimension. And so that soul lives on. Now, do we have all of our soul within our body? No, because we can't have all that energy. So the part of your soul that is in contact, the point of contact with God, is what we call our higher self. And it's kind of the watchtower, right? So the soul lives on. It's light. It's love. If you've ever read the book or seen the movie Shack, The Shack, it's just beautiful. I'm not a big reader of books. I think my wife probably turned on to 50, maybe 100 people onto the book. To me, I read the book. It wasn't life-changing. When I saw the movie and I saw I just saw all the light and different lights on the banks, if you remember that movie. And he's on the banks of a river and there's all the loved ones, but they're light. Then that explains so much. And when loved ones come through to me, they show themselves, of course, if they show themselves as a light, I couldn't really identify because I'm not that. I'm third dimension, I'm still down here. I can't identify. But that light, that soul moves on. And there is strong evidence to support reincarnation, whether we believe in it or not. There's strong evidence. They've got people who can describe who they were, and they go back and research and go, there's no way that person would have known. So the soul lives on. And, like I said, I'm writing a book about the soul. Um, I've never written as much. This will be my third book. It's probably next year, but I mean, I'm supposed to start working on it really heavily now. Spirit says now is the time.
Mhm.
And if you look at the soul as the essence of who we are, this which contains the spirit, intuition, insights, knowledge, wisdom, it just, and it can have good days and bad days because it's our essence, right?
Mhm.
Um, but the good thing is the soul lives on, and that's who we are. We got this shell of a body, but as the old saying goes, we were spirit that occupies a body, not the
Mhm.
other way around. A body that just happens occupies a spirit, right?
Right.
So there's so much out there about the soul
Mhm.
that I'm learning, uh, and the more I read, the more Spirit says, put down all the books about the soul and just listen to us. I go, okay, I'll listen to the experts. I'll listen to the sacred mentors, right? Um, and no, it's just, and everything has a soul. It's just like right now, Ukraine has a soul.
Mhm.
Kyiv has a soul. All those has a soul. There's a
Mhm.
soul in everything we do because that's the essence. Like we look at a chair and go, well, what's the soul of that chair? Well, the essence of it is wood. Okay. And they came from a tree and they had to, unfortunately, cut down the tree
Mhm.
and somebody shaped that into a chair. So that's the essence. Our essence is imprinted on everything we do.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
like somebody said the fingerprint. We have the divine, the DNA of the divine in our fingerprint, and that's where
Mhm.
I got off. Sorry, tangent. I just
Yes.
really get excited talking about the soul because I just don't quite understand everything about it, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So anyway,
One of the ways that we've learned about what literally happens when we die is through the people that have come back, Eben
yeah,
Alexander, people like that. Anita Morjani is another one who's written books. She's with Hay House, and she's talked about her near-death experience and about going towards the light, and like you said, the life review. Um, and when I first heard about it when I was a kid, it just sounded really scary and
yeah,
horrifying. But it's less about being judged than it is more about karma that we may have created or unfinished things.
right.
So if we cross over, if we die, so to speak, and there are the issues that we still have with people or situations that happen to us, then we're going to have to come back and balance that out in another life. So if we could just let it all wrap it up neatly in a bow and let it all go before we cross over, then we're not going to have that karma to take with us. So
Yeah,
that's
because in the other world, the unresolved issues, and a lot of times people who died tragically by their own hand or by somebody else's hand, there's unresolved issues. It's tougher for them to ascend because it's all about ascension.
hmm
The more light you get, the more you ascend, the more knowledge and wisdom you get.
hmm
And yeah, who is a neurosurgeon that wrote the best-selling book? Uh, is it Proof of Heaven? Is that what it's called? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
that sounds right. Yeah.
yeah, and it's funny. The people who really do that, go there and come back, aren't really the people who believed in this stuff. Oh, jeez. Hey,
Oh, sorry.
we
Sorry.
got a troll. We got our
Yeah, I
troll.
know. I got him off there. I didn't mean to click on it. They've been blocked already. So
Okay.
Antonio was telling us about a near-death
And
experience that
there's
he
an
had as
experience.
well.
Yeah, and there's so many people that do this, and they are spirits. They are the tapestry of information. That's a beautiful way of saying it. So spirit's really alive with all the people. They have information. Even spending 8 months in the hospital and being in a coma in and out, I don't know that I had a near death experience. I really don't. I experienced a lot of things I can't explain, uh, but I really didn't go to the other side. I may have for a visit, but
hmm
not that I can remember. Now remember, I can't remember everything
hmm
because of
Well,
stroke.
I've told the story about how you came and were talking to me and explaining to
Yes.
me what was going on with you. And one of the things that you clearly said was that if you did die, that it was not your choice, that you had decided that you were going to. And so the first thing I said to you was, hey, I hear you. Are you dead? It was like 2:30 in the morning. It wasn't a time where I would
Yeah.
normally wake up. And you went, no. And it was exactly the tonal inflection that you would have used. Like, I'm talking to you, but I'm not, So
No.
it was just like you were so excited to be able to do this.
Oh,
So,
that's tremendous. That's tremendous.
and so I don't know if that was a near-death experience where you were out, or was it similar to what we do when we're asleep, when we're astral traveling? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it could have been because they gave me a 15% chance of living,
Mm-hmm,
and I was in and out of a coma for 45 to 60 days,
mm-hmm,
and they had to cold blue me multiple times a day.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
I had no doubt after that you were going to come back. I had no doubt. I didn't know
God
how or
bless you.
when, but
God
and you
bless you.
did just like that. You just woke up.
Yeah,
So, it's amazing, but it's so clearly not your time.
yes.
But so, just because you don't remember a near-death experience doesn't mean you didn't have
Yeah.
one, or, you weren't there.
Oh,
But
no, that's true. That's true. That's very, very true.
you're a little bit more advanced though, than some people, and some people may have a different experience because we don't always remember traumatic things that happen exactly as they happen. A lot of time our brain, our mind changes it
Yeah.
just so that it's easier for us to understand.
Yeah. I mean, the mind kind of goes, oh, no, 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 no. You didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
It labels it the left side of the brain where where you have logic and intellect. Well, I say intellect, analytical analysis. Yeah, I can't remember everything that happened. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Lori Madsen was saying, if asked if we read the book 90 Minutes in Heaven, she said that was a really good book about after death. So that's something else that people can look up.
Absolutely.
The first book I read was called Embraced by the Light by a gal named Betty Eady, and she was Mormon. And I thought that was really a big step for her to be talking
Oh yeah.
about that, because my mother was Mormon, and traditionally they didn't really, that's not something that they
Yeah.
really
Understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Even,
you got to be careful. You can be ostracized, and not just Mormon religion, almost any religion, Protestant, Catholic.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, and I think I've talked about on the show, had one of my biggest spiritual experiences in church. It was during the day for a first communion rehearsal in church. And I had this huge I had this remembering Jesus, and I knew that I had actually known him. And I won't go into it all now, but it so those things when we're younger, and the thoughts that we form, that we didn't have TV or the internet or
yeah,
books or anything to kind of influence those just seem to be a little bit more authentic to me.
yeah,
But that was my perception, was that this was not at all what Jesus had intended, that he didn't want a religion built around honoring him. He was
right.
telling us what to do. We weren't supposed to worship him. We were supposed to find our way back to God. And he was just telling us how, was all. But
Yeah,
still, I went to church throughout the years and things like that. And I just kind of found a way to be able to balance the strict, box that the church had in, and then sort of my beliefs that surrounded it, that I tried to meld, with them. So I think there
yeah,
are ways that you can do it if you, still want to continue. And churches are not bad. They have a really good purpose. But sometimes they are kind of limiting,
yeah. I look at it as kind of a structured spirituality, but more, I think what people are really discovering is spirituality is within,
Mm-hmm,
and trying to get out,
mm-hmm,
and we're just trying to better ourselves and draw closer to God.
mm-hmm,
And if you remember the movie The Shack, you got God is a black woman. Jesus looks like Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, I think, was a Native American woman. And even the person portraying Jesus goes, religion's too much work. It's just too much work. I don't want slaves. I want friends.
right.
And that's when Sam, I think Sam, whatever his name is, asked him, what about religion? He says, religion's too much work.
Mm-hmm,
And it has its place. It's a community, and
mm-hmm.
there's energy there, unless you're called to a life of sequestration. I almost said equestrian. That's when the horses jump over the thing.
Right.
Oh, I'm such an idiot. Yeah, which some people are called to do that. So anyway.
So, regardless of what you believe in your religion, you can sort of meld some of these more advanced spiritual beliefs with that and still stay within it. People
Absolutely.
don't have
Absolutely.
to, feel like, oh, I can't believe that because my church doesn't endorse it or whatever. But
Yeah.
my understanding from different readings that I've had where my loved ones have come through, that typically you see who you want to see on the other side, whether it's family members or pets. We've heard that. What are some of the other things, or has the people that you've channeled or that have come through discussed what they saw, what happened when they died?
Well, I mean, a lot of them really talk about I was upright one day and the next day I was gone. I wasn't ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of them talk about the angels coming, especially in hospital rooms, coming and being on site and seamlessly flying through the air, And I think Mary told me, my wife told me, somebody was in the hospital and they were dying. And they saw an angel. And they said, "Oh, look, there's a feather that just fell down."
Mm-hmm.
So they're there. They're real. And just like that tale, there's an angel. There's an angel now. No. And so, but they talk about, I'm not in pain anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And even people who have been murdered, who have been killed, and people want me to see who it is. I go, listen, I don't know who it is. We'll see what.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the loved ones, most of the time, are like, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
It's not important. Now, it's important to us. I get it. It's important to us. I fully get that. But they're like, that's not important.
Mm-hmm.
And quite honestly, if you find that person, what's it going to do? I can't come back in physical sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so they try to give us lessons. They try to alleviate any guilt. They try to make amends for regrets or remorse that they have. I didn't say I loved you enough.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say how pretty you were or how smart you were enough. Because a lot of things are just, most people leave with this earth with things left unsaid because we just don't know when we're going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do. We try to prepare when we're going, but you don't know. And so there's a lot of things left unsaid, and they try to say some of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it's the basic stuff. I love you. I've always loved you. I was there at the funeral. I was there at the memorial service. I heard what you whispered to me.
Mm-hmm.
I heard when I was in a coma, I heard what you whispered. Mm-hmm. I heard the song you sung.
Wow.
When you were reading to me, I heard. I couldn't respond, but I heard it all.
Mm-hmm.
I was like in a tunnel, and I could just hear that, and it's, I don't have a vivid vision of what the other side, I just know what they tell me, and I can kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
But, the people who have been there and come back, they can't even hardly describe it because of the sound and the music and the sounds and the light. It's something that you have to experience. Hopefully I won't experience for a long time, but you have to experience. And even that, they come back and say, it's really hard to explain. Most beautiful music, most beautiful lights, most beautiful sounds. And
I remember Betty Eady said in her book that even the plants have a sound. They make a vibration that makes a noise. And then when it's together, it's almost just like an orchestra.
Yeah, it's almost, I feel like I've got to look around the tail.
Sorry.
It's almost vivid, like a Disney movie, like a Fantasia or something, colors are just, And I've given readings to people who, not a lot, who are in their last stages of life, and mostly elderly people. And for the most part, they weren't afraid.
Well, that's beautiful.
The Spirit had prepared them, and they weren't afraid. So.
Where was I going with this? Sorry,
No.
Somebody popped on there from England, and now I'm curious where we're from.
England.
How it was related to me was, it's almost like when you're on vacation. So it doesn't mean that you don't miss where you are. It just means you're having such a great time. You're really not thinking about it. And I think the people that are crossed over know we're going to be together again because they can see it from their
Right.
perspective and they know for sure, whereas here we just have to have faith and believe.
Yeah, it's I'm reading right now through audio, The Power of Now by Eckhart
Mhm,
Tolle. It's a
mhm,
best-selling, and I'm just late to the. I've had his book on my bookshelf, like a lot of books that I haven't read, and I found the CD so I can listen to it. And the Spirit just told me, when you're in a spirit realm, it's now. Everything is now. It's
mhm,
not the past, and it's not the future. The future never gets here. It's always on the horizon. You
mhm,
never get to a horizon. You get to a horizon, and then all of a sudden there's another horizon, another.
mhm,
So the future really never gets here. And Eckhart Tolle says even in the past, those were moments of now when they
mhm,
happened.
mhm,
So we spend very little time, all of us, spending thinking about now. We're thinking about what did I do? How can I correct it? And what am I going to do tomorrow?
mhm,
And Spirit just said in the spirit realm, everything is about now,
mhm.
now. The light, the love, the enlightenment, excuse me, the karma. Spirit just showed me uh, karma coming through the fingertips of
Mhm,
ascended beings and
mhm,
masters,
mhm.
and not revenge, because Spirit doesn't do revenge.
Right.
Revenge isn't good.
Mhm.
It's not lasting. It's short lived, and
It
it doesn't
creates
bring.
more karma than it
It
solves.
does. It
Yeah.
gives you pain, not pleasure. So anyway,
Yeah.
oh goodness, we better get to some
Yeah, I was
messages.
gonna say it's 7:30. So if you would like to get either a message from Jerry or a message from Spirit, if you have a question for Jerry or a message from Spirit, please put your request in capital letters in the comment section, and we will get to people. And while we're coming through, just so you'll know, if we ask a question, there is a minute or so delay.
Yeah.
Please, if Jerry asks you a question, please be ready to respond because it will take a few minutes to come through. But while we're waiting for that, I did want to talk about Ukraine very briefly. Um, this is the opportunity for us to have a global event with everybody saying prayers for this and expecting a miraculous outcome. And there has been other times where people have prayed for something. The miners in Chile, remember that were trapped underground. The whole
Yes.
country was praying for them, and look how
Yeah.
that turned out. And I follow Lee Carroll, who channels Cryon, and he said that they actually measured the Schumann resonance, and it went way the heck up that day, the day before, and the day that they pulled the miners up. And collectively, if we're all focusing on peace, we're not focusing on how we're going to get there, or what we don't like about the situation, but we're focusing on peace and love and grace for the people that are being affected right now. If we focus on that collectively and often, we are going to see miracles, and it could be miracles that are going to change the entire planet.
Yeah.
The politics, the geography, the torture that people are inflicting on other people. So I would please encourage everybody to continue to do that, and that we're going to see great things. And just try not to let the horror and the terror and the trauma get you down, because it's really tough watching it. So
Yeah.
on a
It is.
lighter note, we're going to communicate with Spirit, bring Spirit in, and we can just kind of feel that energy. So would you say you're tuned in all the time, Jerry?
I'm tuned in a lot. I don't know, but yeah, for the most part, I am. I think I'm tuned into writing the book, which I don't sit down and, because of the strokes, I can only type with one finger. So,
No.
so I'm going to have to handwrite this book,
Mhm.
which that's okay. But I am tuned in a lot.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, like I'm just hearing now.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, the Spirit says, the hour is at hand from Mother Russia. Now,
Mhm.
that's a phrase. It could be a year. It could be, I don't
Mhm.
think it's going to be a year, but it could
Mhm.
be a year. The collective, we've had so much infighting between, and now like you said, there's a collective spirit of, okay, so this is what evil looks like. And
What's really different
And
about this situation is the citizens just don't want this.
yeah,
And, we need to pray for them as well.
right. And Spirit was saying this was evil, but this is also what courage looks like. This is what
Mhm,
bravery looks like.
mhm,
This is what, I mean, the images of the men handing their babies over to, you
mhm,
know, it makes us want to hug our family tighter.
mhm,
It's a reset. That's what I'm hearing. It's a global reset
mhm.
that will bring about um, many years of peace. Uh,
Ugh, be wonderful.
and
So,
Spirit is saying this will have long lasting effects on China and
mm,
their desire.
interesting.
Um, because China's looking at this going, wow, basically almost the whole world
Mhm,
is is together on this.
mhm,
And they also say there's a part of Russia that they took from China a long time ago. They're
mm.
saying that may actually be, but I don't know. I mean, you listen to things, but yeah, I'm in tune and I'm in tune to. I know you have Ukrainian blood in you.
Mhm,
Uh, I've done readings for Tatiana is a really beautiful Ukrainian name, and I've done a
mhm,
number of people that have Ukrainian history or legacy. And I haven't talked to them lately, but have two or three people I've done readings for. They're all spread out and named Tatiana. And not only that, look at the bravery of the citizens in Russia.
mhm, mhm,
They put you in jail for that.
mhm.
So look at that. People
Yep,
in Russia standing up saying, no,
yep,
mother's going, I don't want to see my son come home in a body bag or
yeah,
a coffin. So we
yeah.
pray for Russia too, uh,
Mhm. Just for peace in general.
for
Yeah.
peace. And yeah, and so
All right, let's get to these people who are patiently waiting.
let's
So,
go. I'm going to move quick because I know I talked too long.
no, you don't ever talk too long. Okay, Antonio.
Antonio. Oh, he's got so much energy, so much spirit. And Antonio, the first thing that pops in, now I'm using prior information, Tony. You said you had a near death experience. I don't think it's the only near death experience that you've had. I think there's another one, whether you remember it or not. Uh, and there's a lot you can teach. I see you as a teacher, whether you're a classically trained teacher. There's teaching within you, and you're here for a reason. Is to teach and mentor people, especially young people or younger people, to tell them what it's like on the other side. So do think there's some. I do see you as a metaphysical teacher, uh, because Antonio, very few of us have gone through what you've gone through.
Mhm.
And so there's some beautiful things about that. I mean, I'm sorry, it was a near-death experience. The Spirit said there was a second time. It doesn't mean there's one coming up. It just means there was one, and it may have been when you were really, really young, and you just may not remember. I don't know. That's what Spirit is saying. There's a motherly figure, real quick, coming through, almost like a mom, mother essence. I don't know who this is. Could be mother, could be mother-in-law, could be grandmother who was like a mother, could be an aunt who was like a mother. And I always try to say, Marion, always try to get those examples because people will say, well, no, my mother's alive. Well, think of a motherly figure.
Mhm.
And she is saying, pray for certain members in your family that need it. You're a healer because Mary Ellen's a healer and an empath. I know you're an empath, Mary Ellen. I don't know if I ever told you. Did I ever tell you that?
Well, no, you haven't, but I'm been aware of that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, from many years ago. So Antonio, this is going to be an eye-opening year for you. I think some things have already happened that have been eye-opening, and when I hear eye-opening, it's a joyous thing, right? Um, but this woman, this mother-like essence, is proud of the work that you're going to do. So I think you're going to, we don't heal nations at a time. We try to help heal people one person at a time, one soul at a time. There we go. And so I think you have a lot of spirituality. I really think, here we go, past life regression. I really think you're a shaman. uh, a wise teacher in a previous life. And I kind of think you're kind of like that now. So thank you for jumping in, Antonio. I'm going to go quick because I talked too long. So
Okay, and we're going to give a short little PSA here. Our website, sanctuaryfl.com, to find out about upcoming events. Jerry's doing a mediumship gallery in Sarasota at Spirit Fest, April 2nd and 3rd. But keep in touch with us through our website there. And Jerry's website, if you'd like to know more and book a reading with Jerry, it's jmacmedium.com. So let's go. Nicole Sunshine would like a message from Spirit.
Nicole Sunshine. Oh, now she's been here before.
Yes.
Yeah, I just love. Yeah. Okay, first time I'm getting Nicole. It's time for a change. It's really time for change. Don't be nervous about the change. And so it's almost like, okay, Nicole, this is what I'm getting. It's almost like I've got a major decision to make. I've kind of put it off, like we all do, because I'm just not sure if it's the right thing. Spirit wants you to use your intuition, use your gut. You know what to do with this major decision. And most major decisions involve family or or work, relationships or finance or health, right? I don't see health being a major decision unless it's the health of someone else that you're going to have to be, oh boy, a caregiver for. Hopefully that won't have to happen. But there is major decision in spirit. The spirit has your back. God has your back. The universe has your back. Your spirit guide is almost like one of your spirit guides. There's two of them, almost like Lewis and Clark expedition. You got to make an expedition. You wind your way, and don't let the naysayers question your decision making ability. You make really good, sound decisions. Nicole, I wish I did, but you make really good, sound decisions. You could teach me something about decision making. And so don't let anybody go, well, you're not making it right. Don't second guess yourself, is what Spirit is saying. There's a child from the world of spirit. It's a male. And I thought I heard brother for a moment, but I just don't know. But it's a small child, which indicates a child was lost. Somebody lost a child passed. It could be in any form. Okay, now the child's getting a little bit bigger, so I don't know. And so that child is with you an awful lot. It's almost like a guardian angel. Could have been from another lifetime, could have been, there's just a male child there that acts as a kind of a guardian angel to help you. Something happened earlier this year or that toward the end of last year, Nicole, that in which you didn't feel like you were safe. And this guardian angel was there. So the guardian angel is there with you to ensure that you're safe. Can't guarantee anything, of course, but to ensure that you're safe and well. And the last thing, Nicole, is take care of yourself so that you don't drain your energy trying to enable and take care of everybody else. And not enable. But see, people call you enabler. That's a healer. That's just, you're a healer. So that's people get, no, you're enabler. No, I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to help. I'm a healer. And so please embrace that. So I wasn't calling you enabler, just Spirit said other people are calling you enabler. Don't listen to them. And I just heard last thing, make the move. Make the move. So this is either a physical move, or if you're working, you move to a different job, or you move to a different, whatever. They're saying make the move. Now's the time.
Okay.
And they're saying by the end of this month or the end of next month, really make the move.
Wow.
And, so anyway.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Tracy
Darnell. That's a mouthful. So I'll just call you Tracy. Tracy. Okay. So Tracy, there was a lot of people coming through. I'll put it this way. Sorry. Spam risk. Stop it. Oh my gosh, I picked up the phone accidentally. Just told them to stop it. So Tracy, I got a lot of information. So I'm gonna kind of navigate my way through it and just make sure you understand what this means. There's a lot of female voices from the world of spirit. I'm looking at sisters, aunts, whether a sister of yours or sister of somebody, sisters, aunt, mother, like essence, grandmother, a lot of grandmothers, which means grandmother, great grandmother, or great great grandmothers. So there's a lot of females coming through, and they're proud. They're proud of you, but I'm asking them if they can go a little bit further. But we talked about decisions you made lately. Life-changing decisions, or life. Now, I'm trying to be dramatic, Tracy, but this is what they're saying of life-changing decisions. And something involve a brother. It's a brother. I don't see him, so I don't think he's passed, but they're saying he's going to be okay. And whether you have a brother or whether somebody has a brother, or I don't know. I'm just giving you what I'm getting. And I apologize, folks, for going fast, but I talked too long in our opening monologue. So now I'm trying to make up for time. Take the trip. I think there's a trip coming up. If it's a cruise, beware. But I love cruising. I love cruising, but there's a trip it's okay to take the trip. It's okay to live your life. It's okay to live your life. You take precautions, social distance, all that. And I know I'm immune compromised because of the transplant. So I wear a mask, social distancing. And there's a reunion coming up this year. I don't know if it's old friends or high school or work or whatever, but there is a reunion coming up this year. I don't think it's that far away from me. I don't know where you live. And there's an English heritage to you. In other words, United Kingdom, England, there's a heritage there. So whether it's you or your husband, or your partner, or whoever you live with, Spirit keeps correcting me. I don't know. They say whoever you live with, there's an English heritage in your family, and they said embrace that heritage. And you're related to somebody famous. They won't tell me who. You're gonna have to do an extensive DNA. Oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying.
Tracy, if you know who that is, let us know. I'm interested.
Yeah, please let us know. Yeah. So, in fact, do you watch Vikings, Mary Ellen? Tracy, you watch Vikings? There's the new Viking, and this doesn't look good on me, but I am a direct descendant of Olaf, who became king of Norway and later became a saint. So, but he's not portrayed too nicely in the TV series. Sorry about that. But Tracy,
okay, let's move on. Thank you, Tracy. I'll look for her comments. Let's go to Darlene, who would like a message from Spirit, please.
I love just messages from Spirit. I love this. Spirit is calling you, Darlene. Yeah, Darlene. Spirit is calling you to meditate more. You may be meditating now. Meditation for some is difficult. Even just spend 5 minutes in meditation so that you hear. It's like there's you're hearing things, but there's too much noise going on around you, too much drama within the family or coworkers or whatever, or in your environments, and too much toxic. And so Spirit is saying, take 5 minutes out of the day, carve out time. If you want to light a candle, that's fine. You want to do it in your car, that's fine. You don't have to turn out all the lights and do all that. And do a lot of stuff. It's just take 5 minutes. And as I always say, when you hear nothing, it's when you're everything. Because I think there's some people you want to connect with. I don't see them. There's 3 individuals, 3 or 4. I think it's 3 specifically that you want to connect with. I don't see them. I know they're there. I can sense they're there, but they're not coming forward. And I just asked Spirit, can they come forward? And they said, we want to come forward for Darlene because we know she has the gift of doing this. You may not think you do, but you do. And so there's a lot of energy around, because I'm talking to, in a previous life, you were a medium. In this life, you are a medium. And not everybody has that gift. Everybody has gifts, but they're different. And so, Darlene, they're saying also, There's somebody who is quite ill that you know of, and don't worry, they'll be taken care of in the afterlife. They'll be okay. There's some people think, well, I don't know that that person will make it in the afterlife. They'll make it in the afterlife. They just got to learn some more lessons that they haven't learned here, and they will be taken care of. I can't tell if it's male or female, Darlene. I'm sorry. Spirit's being, and I really want to bring through the three people, or at least one of them, but Spirit's like, we want Darlene to do this because she has some work to do as a medium. So anyway.
So
cool.
Darlene, I wonder if you're getting any symbols or signs or dreams or anything that might.
Yeah.
And if so, pay attention. That might be how they're trying to get your attention. So, all right. Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you, Darlene.
Who is next? Amy. Possible
Amy.
message, please. Yes.
I know this person that came through. As soon as you said Amy, and then yeah. So,
do we need to go back to Darlene, or are you reading Amy now?
No, this. I know this person coming through.
Okay. Okay.
And I attended her funeral. Was it a couple of months ago? Yeah. And that's her mom, and her mom is like, oh my gosh, so good to see Cheryl. So good to see her. And I tried to pull her through for Kathy, Amy. On Saturday, we did a celebration of life, and other people came through, but Cheryl didn't come through. But as soon as I see you, she's jump roping. I don't ever remember seeing your mom jump rope, but she's showing the dexterity. She's doing things she could never do unless she was a child, because I know she battled health, and she said, watch your health, watch your heart, watch your diet. She's got a whole list. You ever seen those comics where they, all these things? Hear ye, watch your health, watch your heart, watch your health, watch the sugar, the diabetes or pre-diabetic. And she says, please stay active. And she said, in other words, do everything opposite of what I did. I have been near you. I've sent you signs, and they understand. Amy, it's a lot of times we don't get the signs. Please tell Kathy she's going to come to her and send her signs, but you're the most, you and someone else. I don't know if you have a sister. I think you have a sister, but she is sending you signs because I think you sense her. She even says you smell her because, they have a scent. She's, oh God, I miss her so much. She had a wicked sense of humor. She put people in her place. And she said, Jerry, even with your big nose, you still can't sense when I said, no, I have sinus issues, so I can't smell. She likes to move loose change around. Now, a lot of times we just throw loose change and we don't pay attention. But she said at one point, look at loose change. It's either all going to be on heads or all going to be on tails. And that's also how some of the people, but she loves you very much. She says, thank you for the beautiful service. She didn't know she meant that so much to people. And she's with Kathy Burke. And she's with a gentleman and another lady that were kind of from that Cursillo group. That's where I met her, and that's why I knew her. And she's coming through. Thanking you for doing this, Amy, and thank you for helping to arrange such a beautiful, beautiful funeral. She thought Ed did a great job speaking about her on her behalf. So just so you know, she's going to come through for several people that want her to come through. But again, they're in a higher dimension. It takes a lot to go fifth dimension, sixth dimension, down to the third dimension. It's not an easy thing to appear in someone's dreams, but it's much easier to send signs. So she sent you a cardinal. Cardinal is I know that's a standard dream, but red is a color that she loves. And so she picks the cardinal as one of the signs. and another one is a strong wind out of nowhere. Just
Mm.
just a nice wind that, it's
Mhm.
calm, and all of a sudden, whew, it's not like hurricane or tornado. Oh, what a beautiful dog. And so she says she loves you, she misses you, she's near you, she hears you crying, she wipes away your tears, she hears you talking to her at night, she hears your whispers, she hears your thoughts, and yes, she
Mm.
is very, very proud of you, and don't ever forget that.
That's
Thank you,
beautiful.
Amy.
Gemma asked a question. She asked, "Are the readings tiring?"
That's a great question. Yeah, sometimes it is. Tonight it's not, because of the energy of the people. I mean, yeah, sometimes if I'm doing a reading and I don't know if you can see me, my arms are crossed, and they have the blockage of the energy, and I'm really trying to get through and give them something,
Mhm.
and when they're talking all at once, like when I
Mm.
did the celebration of life on Saturday, they were all talking at the same time. It was it was a goat rodeo. It's
Oh, that's funny.
like herding cats, and I couldn't distinguish. I
Uh-huh.
was all over the place. Yeah, I got ADD to begin with. All right, so that's a challenge in itself. But it was all over the place, and I was like, man. So it does get tiring, but
Mhm.
yeah, I can do about 2 hours on my feet, and yeah, as I do, Mariana, yours, and it just
Mhm.
it,
Yeah.
it it depends. It depends on the energy. Like the energy is really good here, really, really good.
Mhm.
So I guess that's a long way to answer. I guess I could have
Okay.
just said yes
Okay.
sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Okay.
Sometimes yes.
Anna is open to a spirit message.
Anna,
You don't
Anna,
know her.
no, Anna. But there's something about that name almost indicates named after somebody. There's maybe it's her middle name, but when I hear a name and all of a sudden spirit will go, yeah, that's got some energy to it. So Anna has some energy to it. Is that short for Anastasia? I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't know much about names other than I can tell when something um, there's some energy around that name. Sorry, a little indigestion. I had a
That's
hamburger
why the
earlier.
door was shut
But
earlier.
um,
Don't cry her.
Anna, it's there's some sadness around Anna around the passing of a close one, and I feel Anna, this is recent. Recent would have been not 2 or 3 years. That's not recent to me. It's maybe recent to you, but recent to me is within a year, like a few months, weeks, days, months. And it's a woman. It's a woman, or it's a girl. I say a girl, young woman, and she keeps Anna. This may give you a hint of who it is. She keeps changing her hair. All of a sudden, I saw long, beautiful hair. Then I saw short hair. Then I saw purple hair. Then I saw green hair. And it's an indication of I had many hairstyles. I changed them all. And she comes through and say, "Please don't be so sad. I miss you as much as you miss me, but I'm near you." Um, she does something with the lights, or she's going to do something. So if you see some of the lights flickering, it's not a ghost. It's just Anna telling you. It's not Anna. Sorry, Anna is just this friend. I think it's a friend. Uh, I don't know, but it is a female, and if it's a mom, I'm not picking up the motherly essence.
Mhm.
Um, Now this person starting to sound like a mom, but I don't have the essence. I pick up the vibration, the energy, right? And she is saying, "Oh my gosh, is that late? Oh, I'm so sorry." And she is saying, "Listen, you go
Well,
for your."
we can go late. It's okay. We can run over.
Oh, good, good, good. Because I'm holding people up. I don't want to. She said, "Anna, it's really important to go for your dreams. Your dreams are way down here, and bring them up to the surface. Bring them up to the surface, and go for it. Have confidence in yourself that the dreams you have." Um, I see a lot of therapy with her, not therapy that she's going through, but therapy that it's almost like she's a Reiki master or massage therapist or something. There's some type of energy as long as she's an energy healer. She may not even know it, but she is. And they're saying use your energy to kind of heal yourself. And just make sure the dreams you have don't die. That's one of the biggest regrets I hear about people passing. I had this I wanted to do. I didn't get to do it. I'm here now and I understand it. And I'm living my life on the other side in the spirit realm, but there were things I wanted to do. She said, don't bungee jump. Don't bungee jump. So this person has a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that with you, Anna, and thank you. And I just don't know who this person is, but I think you can probably figure it out, hopefully.
Okay. Let's see here. Don Hopkins, we would like a reading.
Oh, Don, my high school classmate from Fraser High School in 1973.
Memphis. There's a few people from Memphis tonight.
Yes. I miss Memphis. I haven't been in Memphis a long time. Coming from spirit, but I also see, Don, if you remember this, I actually went to a baseball game to watch your big brother play baseball. I got out of school. We I don't want to say we skipped school, but we left school early, right? And I remember meeting, I knew Mike, of course, and I knew of Jeff. Jeff was like an icon. Don was a heck of a football player, And I remember, I don't know if he had a brother named Bruce. Why I keep getting the name Bruce. And I met him. He had some challenges, but he was such a sweet, kindred soul. And I remember I made your dad laugh so hard. And this is your father coming through. If your father's passed, if he's not, he's extremely old, still living here, but he looks like him. And he's got, he reminds me of a military man, Don. He comes through and he says, watch your sugar, watch your sugar. He says, also watch your heart. So he's coming through as, he's coming through almost like a doctor, Don, because, they can see things in advance. And so he wants you to make sure you go to the doctor and get blood work done. Your father has stepped aside, and I don't know, Don, if you were close to Mike McNeil and Steve Melito. I know you know them. I know you remember them. But, they passed away. So sorry to lose me. And they're here. They're excited. They're excited. They every time you guys gather around for anything, those Fraser gatherings, I live in Orlando, so it's a long way from Memphis. But anytime you guys gather around, or you gather around and just talk, whether it was with Darv or whoever, they're there. They're there. They like to hear you guys talk. Mike and Steve were very close, and they passed away. Steve was a cameraman for the TV show Cops, and passed away in a hotel. They found him passed in a hotel. I don't know if it was a heart attack or whatever. And Mike had some challenges of health, but they're there because they know Don was like an icon at Fraser High School. He was part of the Hopkins family icon. Don was a heck of a football player. Your dad just jumped and said, please take care of your leg. Watch your circulation. He's worried about your legs. I'm rubbing my knee right now. And I gotta say, Donna, if this is not your dad, this is exactly how I remembered him. I was 17 at the time, and he looks exactly how I remembered him. I only met him the one time. Great sense of humor. I don't think he liked me. I'm just kidding. I made him laugh. But Don, there's a lot of loved ones. They want to see you live a good, long life. They like the grandkids. And I'm using prior information because I can see the grandchild. I think it's a grandchild. It's great to have grandkids. You can tell the parents, come pick them up. Reach them a little bit. They're climbing up the walls. But Don, just watch your health, watch your circulation. Maybe go to the doctor, get some blood work, which is what Spirit always kind of tells men to do, and continue to watch your sugar level. but know that your dad's real proud of you. He said, you know, you felt you felt you're in Jeff's shadow all the time. And why do I feel Jeff has passed? I don't see him. But Don, you were your own person. You didn't live in Jeff's shadow. We didn't look at you as Jeff's brother. We looked at you as Don, you know, a very popular guy at Fraser High School. God, it's so good to hear from you, buddy. Anyway.
I love when people from different worlds kind of combine. Like I said, we've got people in Memphis from when the sanctuary had their physical location there in Memphis. And
you know, I don't know that I would recognize Memphis. I tried to get my way around there. I was there 3 years ago when my brother passed away, and I went to Memphis, and he passed away and was buried up in Shelby Forest. And as we're driving, I didn't recognize the expressways or anything. You know?
Yeah, it's been a while. Reese has patiently waited and would like a spirit message.
Reese.
Yeah.
Is that a male or female?
I believe it's a female.
Female. Like Reese Witherspoon. Okay, so Reese, the first thing I'm hearing from Spirit, this is a message from Spirit, is financial matters are going to improve this year. I don't make that lightly. That's the first thing coming out of that's the first thing that came right out was please tell her financial matters or finances are going to improve this year. I think somebody owns their own company close to you, and it's going to have a good year. I don't know if it's you or somebody close to you. There's a lot of drama and toxic. There's a lot of drama in the families. There's always drama in the family, right? And don't let the drama get you down. You're not responsible for the drama. There's a lot of finger pointing going on, and just don't put up your boundaries and say, don't point the finger at me. I didn't cause this. So there's just a lot of drama, and so I think you need some peace and just some peace and quiet. You know, they're almost go to a hotel for like a week or something and just veg out, you know. Two people are coming through, Reese, from the world of spirit. First of all, thank you for being so patient, and everybody being so patient. I really appreciate it. So, Reese, two people are coming through. One's a family member. It's a male. It's almost I don't know how old you are, Reese. I don't ask people their age, but what I'm hearing is this person is about your age. Went before he felt it was his time. But as we all know, we go when we're supposed to go, right? Based on the soul contract and the path we're on. Maybe, Reese, see if this makes sense. Maybe take some responsibility for his own passing. So I don't know if he's not telling me the whole side of the story, but take some responsibility for his passing. I'm not saying the suicide word. I'm not saying taking his own life, but is taking some responsibility for his own passing. I'll let you decide maybe who that is. But he's near you, loves you, misses you. This is either, Marianne, this is either more like a friend, or Reese is more like a friend, a close friend who's like a brother or a cousin, but they're about the same age as you are, however old you are. If you're 25, this guy's 25, 26, 27, somewhere around there, or maybe 30. I don't know. A little bit older now. He's saying a little bit older. And he's saying he liked things fast. He liked to go fast. And so I'm not going to interpret that or analyze it. And I sure hope I'm making sense here, Reese. Now, he is surrounded by a mother figure that's connected to you. Considers you a daughter. Again, can be a mom, can be a mother-in-law, can be, I've gone over, can be a grandmother, an aunt, somebody who's like a mother. See, they're sending out a mother vibration. There's a mother essence about this person. And she's proud of you, even though at times you're not proud of yourself and things you've done. And, Reese, take a number on that. There's a long line ahead of you, and there's a long line behind you. And she says, please don't compare yourself to others. You're a success. And you have value and worth. And she feels she has to pump you up a little bit. So,
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
So
we
I'm
have time for just one or two more.
Yeah. So I'm going to leave that with you. Okay, Reese, thank you.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Donna Marie.
Donna Marie. Donna Marie. Do I know Donna Marie?
Maybe.
Donna Marie. Donna Marie. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to chant your name. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to remember where I know you. I know you. I just don't remember. So first I'm getting, it's time for change. It is really time for change. And so I'm clairvoyant. So what I see is a symbol of a flip chart. I used to do training. I used to do a lot of flip charts, and you tear off one. It's time to, as they say, have a paradigm shift. Paradigm shift is you start over, right? It's time for a new beginning, a new beginning. Oh, now I'm seeing the image of a dragonfly. And a dragonfly represents a lot of things. I know I was in the hospital for 8 months, and my symbol was a dragonfly. It represents new life, new beginnings, a way forward. Time to step out of your comfort zone, take a leap of faith. Again, no bungee jumping, Donna Marie, no bungee jumping. But it's time to take that leap of faith. It is time. It's not that you put this off. It's just you said when the time is right, and the time is right. I see you taking this leap of faith and carving out a new path for yourself, a more sacred spiritual path. You've been surrounded by negative energy for a little while, and it's time to break out of that negative energy cocoon, so to speak. That's more of a butterfly, right? But anyway, this dragonfly. So dragonflies are a symbol for you from your loved ones. Wow, I don't see any loved ones. I know they're there. I just don't see them. Oh, there's a guy playing a guitar. So there's a musician. Or I don't know if you're a musician, but I see a guy playing a guitar. I can only tell you what I see, right? I don't want to interpret it because this is up for you to interpret. And I hope everybody's taken some good notes too, or has taken good notes. And it's time for a new tune. It's time for a new tune. It's time for you to sing a new tune. I like how Spirit kind of work that way. It's time for a new song. You know, our lives have songs, and it's time for a new song for you. And this will be a dramatic change. This will be a sudden shift in your consciousness, a sudden shift in the positive energy around you. There's some negative energy around you, and they want you to start talking to your guides more too. I don't know who your guides are, but they want to just sit in silence. I mean, they'll at some point reveal themselves to you. You may not see them. I don't see my guide, but I know Celine is there, and other people see Celine. So this has been a big time for change. It's exciting. I feel good about this, Donna Marie. I really do. I really do. And work on your psychic gifts. They're there. They are there. Work on them. Work on them. Keep working on them. You'll help yourself and a lot of people. Okay.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Jerry. And I've got your website up here, jmacmedium.com, so people can find out more information about you or how to book a full reading. So we appreciate you going over tonight. And
thank you.
As always, it's a great conversation. So we plan to be back in 2 weeks. No excuses. Yay. We're just going to get back on our regular schedule. So, and thank you to everybody that was listening. We had a really good crowd tonight, and I know that we'll continue to have comments and things in this section, and we really appreciate.
Thank you very much, folks.
And if you haven't, please go to our YouTube channel and give us a like, give us a thumbs up. We need to.
I got to do that. I still haven't done that. And believe it or not, 2 years later, still haven't done that.
It's just the Sanctuary for Mind, Body, and Spirit. You can just Google it there. So anyway, but thank you again for everybody for joining us. We've had a great night, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.